A US-based company that automates watchlist compliance reveals a big alteration in the terrorist watchlist of Pakistan, including Zakirur Rahman Lakhvi, one of the terrorists responsible for the 26/11 Mumbai attack. The country has reportedly removed over 1,000 names from its terrorist watch list, clearly suggesting otherwise from its claims of dealing with terrorism emanating from its territory and the territories under its forceful occupation. A report.
Pakistan's blatant lies over its non-existing action against terrorists got busted this week as Islamabad removed around 1,800 names from its terror watch list because they could not justify having them there without taking action, reports Castellum AI, a US-based regulatory technology company. Media reports suggest during an interrogation by the global terror financing watchdog Financial Action Task Force or FATF, Pakistani officials informed that the terrorists were allowed to do whatever they wanted to for employment and to earn a living as there were no active cases against them. With no answers for its lack of action against these individuals, it became imperative for Pakistan to start removing them from the banned list under the guidelines of FATF. These terrorists are responsible for dreaded terror activities in India, Afghanistan, and even in Pakistan.
There are many, militants which are responsible for waging virtually, or launching militant activities, responsible for killing innocent people in India, Afghanistan, and even in Pakistan, some of them. So therefore, it is expected Pakistan not to change this list.
According to the report published by Castellum AI, a so-called proscribed persons list which is maintained by Pakistan's National Counter-Terrorism Authority or NACTA contained about 7,600 names in 2018, but it has been reduced to fewer than 3,800 in the past 18 months. The report also reveals that Zakirur Rahman, the 2008 Mumbai attack mastermind and LET operations commander, is one among those whose names have been removed from the terror watch list. However, it is largely known that Lakhvi's name was never on the watch list, despite a critical ordinance signed by former Pakistan President Mamnoon Hussain in February 2018 that ensured that all UN proscribed terrorists were listed by Pakistan's NACTA too. Since Pakistan's military establishment supersedes all domestic and global orders, the inaction and non-conviction of these terrorists that led to the removal of names explains the status of a puppet judiciary in the country that is fostering terrorism.
The Pakistani judiciary itself is a very close ally of the Pakistani military establishment. We have seen number of occasions, it is always siding with the militants, it's always siding with the army, and they promote it is very anti-India. In most of the cases we have seen, they have released all those militants who were responsible for waging attack in India.
Several of the names removed from Pakistan's list appear to be aliases for designated terrorists listed on the US or United Nations sanctions list, reports Castellum AI. India has often given names of terrorists and terror organizations involved in anti-India activities, but eventually paying no heeds to its neighbors' dossiers. Pakistan always gives relief to these proscribed and dreaded terrorists residing in the country.
We have given them dossiers after dossiers, number of people, and sometime when international pressure or India's pressure comes, they arrest, and then later it was released for lack of evidence or anything. So a military judiciary has become virtually an important asset of the Pakistani establishment. So one should not expect any hope from this judiciary.
According to the Wall Street Journal, an American newspaper, No public explanation was given for the removals of the names, but according to a Pakistani official, the exercise was a part of the country's efforts to comply with a commitment to strengthen its counter-terrorism safeguards. However, the inaction against terrorists and then the removal of names clearly indicates towards strengthening relations between Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan and the Pakistani military establishment, which is meant to safeguard the interests of terrorists and not the nation at large.
The elected government is also in league with the army, supports. In fact, the Prime Minister Imran Khan openly says that he cooperates with the army in solving the problem of the country. So one should not expect any justice from these people.
Global standards call for countries to communicate delistings to the financial sector immediately upon taking such action. But Wall Street Journal reveals that Pakistan, which designates entities and persons with suspected links to terrorism under its Anti-Terrorism Act of 1997, hasn't historically done so. Pakistan already features in the grey list of FATF for terror financing. A further decision on Pakistan, which was to be taken up in the June plenary session, has been postponed until October 2020 in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic.